Digital Romance TV.
Hi, this is Claire Casey for Digital Romance TV, and today I'm talking about the 4 big keys to breaking through any and every relationship problem. I've been talking about relationships and talking with women and men in relationships for so many years, and I've been married for so many years, and I feel like that very often it comes down to these 4 things. And actually, you can write these on a Post-it note and stick them on your bathroom mirror or somewhere where you can see them and think about them. It's the second one, by the way, that trips people up the most, not the first one. I'm just going to give them to you in the order that I have them written down here. The first one is self-knowledge. The more you know about yourself and your own relationship needs, the things that you absolutely need to have in a relationship, or else it's a deal breaker, or else you can't move forward. The more you understand exactly what those needs are, the better you will be able to get them in a relationship, because you'll be able to communicate about them. But if you're not really sure what it is that you need, you just have this sense of something, then it's hard. It's much harder to figure that out in a relationship. So, for example, one of the things that I absolutely need to have in my marriage, and it took me years to figure this out, was I needed and wanted a man who would help me with home things. You know, sometimes the old-fashioned view was the guy works and the woman takes care of the home. And even after that, it was like the guy works and the girl works too, and they both have full-time careers, but guess who's the one taking care of all the house and home and kids and stuff? Well, still the woman. And I kind of fell into that in my first years of marriage, until I realized, no, I want to share that. I want to be a partner in the home things and in cleaning and in parenting and making sure everything runs well at the house. And so that's a deal breaker for me. If I did not have that at the very foundation of my relationship, I wouldn't be able to stay married very successfully. So you got to figure out what it is for you, what things you need. For a lot of men, it's sexual activity, a certain frequency, certain way, and all that. Some people, it is gifts, little gifts. I have a girlfriend who loves it when her man brings her little gifts, and he does it regularly. He brings her flowers, and he gets her little things. He gets her tickets for shows that she wants to go to. He's really good about it, and that's sort of a basic need for her. There are others, and if you've read the 5 love languages, some of this is in there. I read that years ago, and it was very influential, and I found it to be very true. So self-knowledge is the first thing. The second one that you need to really break through any relationship problem, and this is the one that trips people up, the willingness to work really hard. Really hard. Some relationships dissolve because people are lazy. One or both of the couple is just being lazy. Like, they don't want to do the hard work of sitting down and just trudging through the mess and trying to untangle this big, wad of relationship issues that can happen and that do happen to pretty much every relationship. So don't let laziness trip you up. Some people are so reluctant to work on their relationship, both when it's bad as well as when it's good, because that's when you have to do work too, that they go through relationship after relationship. When one gets tough, they bail out and go find another one. And that's not a good habit for anyone to be just doing all the time. So that's number 2, is hard work. The third thing, and this is a tough one, but it's easier, I think, and that's just the willingness to grow. To not be the person you were last week or last month or last year all the time. Sometimes you really need to grow. You got to let go of some old injuries. You got to not let your past keep tripping you up. You have to make sure your primary, focus is your relationship and not your parents or in-laws or children even, but make your relationship, your marriage, if it's a marriage, but make your relationship a real priority and be willing to let it grow. Let it become a new thing. That means changing your ways sometimes, changing your habits. So that's the third thing. So we've had self-knowledge, hard work, and willingness to grow and change. And by the way, that's the reason I tend to get irritated at people who say, well, when we got married 8 years ago, I said I would do X, but I don't really want to do X. I want to do Y, and I want it to be like this. You should be willing to grow, and so should your partner in your relationship. The last thing is flexibility. Oh my goodness. So often we have to make compromises and do things that we did not have planned. My man is a huge planner. He does not do well with spontaneity. He does not do well with spur of the moment. He wants it to be planned in advance and well in advance. I'm the opposite. So we've had to learn to get along with each other with those two ways of being. And that's just true of a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, but also a short-term one. You just have to be willing to be flexible and work with somebody. That does not mean that you give up on the things that are absolutely critical to you, that you accept that your needs will never be met. That is not what that means at all. It means that sometimes your needs won't be met and other times they will. Flexibility. So that's the 4 keys to breaking through any relationship problem. Self-knowledge, being willing to work hard, being willing to grow, and then being willing to be flexible. I hope that's helpful to you. Thanks for taking the time to listen. This is Claire Casey for Digital Romance TV. Take care, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Did you know there's a 3-step formula to make a guy fall desperately in love with you? Go to digitalromance.tv/CHH to learn a simple method any woman can use to capture a man's heart and make him love you forever. Again, that link is digitalromance.tv/CHH.